In this example, we're going to look at absolute value and number lines. Answer the questions for the following example. So we're given the information that Bob lost a $10 bill in the wash. So first we want to write a number line representation for this. So notice that we are given that Bob lost a $10 bill. So this means that this $10 is going to be represented by a negative 10. Negative $10. So let's set up our number line so we can plot this number. First, I'm going to label the number line with a $sign to indicate what we're measuring. So now if we have to include negative $10, it's always nice to include 0 kind of in the middle if you can. We need to think of a way to scale this so that negative $10 will be on the number line. So if we scaled by ones, we'd have negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5. We wouldn't have enough tick marks on our line to get to negative 10. So there's actually a few ways we could do this. In other examples, we scaled by tens, and we could put negative 10 here, negative 20, negative 30. Just to change things up a little bit, I'm going to try scaling by a different number. I want a number that will make exactly one of the tick marks 10. So another way to do that is to scale by 2's. So here's negative 2. The next would be negative 4, negative 6, negative 8, and negative 10. So notice that includes negative 10 on our number line, and these other numbers would also be incremented by 2's going up to positive 10. Now again, this isn't the only way we could have done this. If we had scaled by 5's, we would also get negative 10 on our number line. So now let's plot our number. So there is negative 10. Now the next question asks us the distance from 0 on the number line. So here we are at 0. Okay. Our distance from 0 is how far the number negative 10 is from 0. And when we think of distance, we are always going to think of positive distances. So our distance from 0 is 10. Negative 10 is 10 units away from 0. Even though these are scaled by 2, each one represents 2, so it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 away. Next, we're asked to write the absolute value representation. Well, the absolute value is the distance of a number from 0. That's how it's defined. And to write the absolute value representation, we draw 2 vertical bars around our number of interest. This reads the absolute value of negative 10. So that's how you would read this expression. And now we're going to write what it equals to. Well, the absolute value of negative 10 is equal to 10, because the absolute value is the distance from 0 of the number on the number line. Let's look at the next question. The word that describes the sign of the magnitude. So the magnitude is our distance, and we've seen this in a lot of examples. He had it was $10 bill in the wash, but we said that the word lost told us that it was a negative value. So when we're referring to the sign of the magnitude, the sign in this case would be negative. The magnitude is the absolute value, that distance of 10. Okay? And the word that tells us the sign of the magnitude is lost. So let's type the word lost. Okay, so the word lost tells us the sign of the magnitude. And finally, they ask us, what does 0 represent in this context? So it's always good to think of what the 0 value represents, because it's sort of our baseline for an application. So 0 represents Bob losing or gaining $0. Or you could put no change in his amount of dollars.